know where these numbers came from. I don't know who put them there. All I know is I sat in that meeting and I left and I was just frustrated. I was angry and I just cried. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Destiny Arianna, and today I'm back with another video. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you are new, welcome to my lifestyle and college channel. On my channel, you can expect to see college videos, advice videos, vlogs, and anything pertaining to college and lifestyle. So please subscribe to my channel if you're interested in any of that content, and click the bell so you can get notified whenever I post a video. This is such an interesting story. So many people ask me this question, y'all. Like, you would really be surprised. So many people ask me this because if you knew me, if you watch my other videos, you see that I wanted to go abroad so bad. I was gonna go abroad for the year. I was just gonna be there and I was gonna be living my best life, or so I thought. So if you wanna know why I'm actually not abroad and you know what basically happened that led me to choosing not to go, stay tuned and keep watching. I think I'm gonna start off by just telling background. So originally, I wanted to go abroad for the entire year. So what my plan was for the fall of 2019, I wanted to study abroad at another school, but still like within the US. So I wanted to do that. And then for the spring, I wanted to study internationally. I didn't really solidify. This was like end of freshman year, early sophomore year where I was thinking about this. And then I basically threw away the idea of studying away in the fall because if you guys know, I'm a part of the Melon undergraduate fellowship program known as MMUF. And if you're part of that fellowship program, you actually cannot study abroad in the fall. So my dreams of going away for the entire year were gone, but I'd still be able to go in the spring. So that being said, I was ready to go, y'all. Like, I remember because I knew I wanted to do art, and I had already declared the minor at that time. I knew I wanted to study art abroad just because I wanted more experience in a different country, you know, practicing and learning from different people. And then it also connected to my research interests at that time. So I just knew that I wanted to go abroad really bad and I wanted to study art. So when I talked to my art professors about it, when I talked to everybody about it, they were like, oh my gosh, you should go to Italy. You should go to Italy. Oh my gosh, like go to Italy. I was like, I think I'll go into Italy. Like I'm gonna be in Europe. If I'm in Italy, I can study art in Italy. I can go to Paris and I can just visit all of these places that I've been wanting to go like my entire life. Like I was ready, y'all. I remember in May, like right before I left sophomore year for the summer, I went to the student aid office and I set up a meeting with my financial aid person. And I basically like, talked to them about, you know, how much money would I owe if I went abroad, you know, like basically just trying to figure out everything. So there's nothing that's stopping me from going. Like I wanted to know how much would it cost me? How much is my aid going down? Just like, you know, the ins and outs of the entire process. I wanted to know this early because I was not playing any games whatsoever. Like I was determined to go. So like even after the meeting, you know, they're telling me that the numbers already look good. Like I won't really owe that much money. And they basically just told me to save up some money from the summer just for like extra spending money and costs and things like that. So I was just like, we're good. We're going to Europe in the spring. Like that's all that matters. So I remember doing my Melon Summer that summer before junior year. And after researching the summer, I started to realize, oh my goodness, like with my research topics and interests, maybe going to Europe is not really what I want to do. But yeah, so I was like, it'd be really cool to go to a country in Africa and learn from African artists, you know, or just go to a place that has a strong community of Black creators and Black artists and learn from them, right? So I was like, yo, I want to go to Africa because that's something that I've always wanted to do. I just never really thought of it in terms of studying abroad because my mind was so fixed on Europe because that's what everybody kept telling me to do, you know. And I also just was so excited about wanting to do like a European tour with my friends and things like that. So after the summer, I started thinking greatly about different programs that I can do in different places to get a better research experience that would like help me grow in my research journey. Right. So I hit a bunch of brick walls in this process, you know, going online, looking at programs, figuring out that the art programs that I wanted to do were like a year. Like I couldn't do just a semester. If I wanted to study art, I could only do a year. And I also emailed one of the programs that I wanted to do, just asking if I could like shadow a professor, you know, and like work and do different things. I didn't get an email until like February. I would have already been abroad by then, but anyway. So I decided I was just gonna wait until September to sort of figure everything out, because basically as a junior, you have this allotted amount of time if you're going to study abroad. In the spring, you have about a month or so to solidify your plans and start applying for those programs. So at the time, like, I was good. Like, I would say I already had drafts for my programs that I wanted to do, and I was in the process of applying for those programs. So I had decided that I wanted to go to Italy, definitely, because I wasn't really getting responses from the other programs. So I was like, you know, like, this will just inform a different part of my research, you know, and if I'm meant to be here, like, I'll be here. If I get into the program, I'll be there. Like, that's honestly how it's gonna work. You know, if it's meant for me, it is meant for me, you know, that's it, plain and simple. So I remember it was like September, middle of September, like 13th, 12th, something like that. And I went to the financial aid office again to just check the numbers, check the stats, basically like make sure everything was still good. Because remember, like I said earlier, I went in May and they told me everything was fine. You know, just save up a little bit of money for the summer and to cover program fees and then just any extra expenses. Nothing about tuition and anything else that I would have to cover extra because I was covered on financial aid, right? Right. So I went to this meeting and y'all, like, I was just so upset because everything had just like flipped on its head and turned upside down. So basically I came to the meeting, and as you guys can probably assume, there were numbers that popped up, and there were tuition fees that I wasn't informed of. There were things that I had to pay for that I couldn't afford, and I'd have to take out more loans for. There were a lot of pieces that were once filled that are now empty. And it just didn't make sense to me as to where these had come from. And I was just very confused because I literally looked at the numbers a couple months ago with someone. You know, I had everything set. You know, I saved up some money. You know, I was like literally like, I planned this ahead so well that I'd be okay. Like, I had the estimate number for everything. I'd have to theoretically pay almost $5,000 like out of pocket just to cover like excess fees, when the program that I was studying abroad the program that I wanted to study abroad for was cheaper than the tuition. So it just like literally didn't make any sense to me. It was like a week before we had to solidify if we were going abroad. And I basically like talked to my mom because I was just crying because I was so frustrated. I'm like, if I want to make up this money to pay for this, on top of research and school and classes and everything, and I had a goal that semester to get straight A's, I would have to work almost 20 to 40 hours a week to make up just that amount to cover that. And that's something that's really difficult to do when you're at Bowdoin, but just in college generally. Like, to put on that many hours while you're a full-time college student is really, really hard. And mentally, like, I was okay, but I just really wanted to focus on school. So that was something I never factored in, you know. And like, I had a campus job, but like, my campus job was not cutting paying for any of that stuff. So I was just very frustrated. And my mom just told me, you know, like, things keep popping up, Destiny, that are steering you away from going. You know, you were looking for other programs, you kept getting no from them. So then you're going back to this program, and the one program that you had settled on, now this big obstacle in your way, you know. And she basically reminded me that when these things are happening and they're unexplainable, you know, that is God. And at the time, like, I just didn't want to hear it. I like literally didn't want to hear it. Like, I was just like, Mom, like, you know, I've been dreaming about this my whole life. I've been wanting to go abroad since I knew what abroad was. I've been wanting to go to Europe, you know, for the longest amount of time. Like, I was just not trying to hear it, you know. And then I just sort of sat down with myself, and I was just like, okay, God, if you don't want me to go, I don't understand. I have no idea why all these things are happening when I did everything right. I planned ahead. I set money aside, but it wasn't enough. You know, I did all these things, but something is just not working, and I can't keep fighting it if it's just not working. So I had decided that I was just not gonna go, and that broke my heart, and I was really sad, you know, because I had so many plans and they just all went away, just, you know, because of a financial situation. But I feel like it was bigger than me. But I'll get into that a little bit later. So yeah, I decided that I wasn't gonna go abroad. And I actually had also, in the process of that, I applied for a Melon program to get have the opportunity to go to South Africa during winter break, and I had got the opportunity. So, you know, there was like a little silver lining in there. I had never been on a plane before. I had never been out the country before, and this program was completely free. Only other money that I would have to bring is my own personal cash. If you guys don't know or watched my previous videos, South Africa is my first time going out the country, going on a plane, blah, 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 and it was a great experience. The time zone was something I was not used to at all. Literally, like, y'all, I was not sleeping for the first week I was there. I was tired all the time. And it was crazy. And I was only there for 2 weeks though. But in that time, before things went left, I realized, wow, like I was gonna go abroad, and this is the first time I'm away from my family, and I miss them so much that it hurts. I'm talking to them like 30 times a day, you know, and this is my first real time like going out of the country and having these experiences. And to do that for, you know, 4 to 5 months is a lot, expecting for myself, like being so close to my family and never having that opportunity at all. So I like didn't even take baby steps. I just wanted to jump and do it. And I don't think that I knew if I was mentally prepared. I was just willing to take that risk. And now, like looking back at it, I know that I probably wouldn't have been able to handle that situation. And that being said, if you guys don't know, a situation that also happened to me when I was in South Africa, in which I was on a trip and I had got robbed at gunpoint. And that was something that changed my life in so many ways. And I just can't imagine having dealt with that, not in the same circumstance, but just having something so drastic like that happen when I was abroad, and like how that's changed my life so much. Like, I just know that, you know, the 2 weeks was enough for me to experience for my first time, you know what I mean? So there's a couple things. I mean, now it being 2020 and we are in what, April now? So we all know that this global pandemic of coronavirus has changed our lives in so many ways. And, you know, it originated in China, but the main place that it affected greatly and has had so many deaths was Italy. And that, when I heard it, was honestly one of the most shocking things to me, because I just think about how adamant I was about going to Italy. Everyone knew I wanted to go to Italy. Everyone knew that that's where I was going to be. And I just told everyone when they would ask me, where are you studying abroad? Studying my research, colloquium, like I was ready to go. And I was going to be there until I was stopped, you know, and things kept going in my way that were preventing me from making that decision. Because mentally, I'm telling y'all, like nothing was stopping me. Nothing. Like if it wasn't the money, like I would have been there. You know, and I think that sometimes things need to happen that are going to stop you where you are. And financially, that was a burden. And I think the only thing that would have stopped me is the finances. And that's exactly what happened. And somehow, some way, the rejection protected me and redirected me. You know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds crazy, but y'all, I'm telling you guys, I was gonna be in Italy and nothing was stopping me from being there. And then God literally was like, I know you wanna go, but you don't need to be there. Not now anyway, but you don't need to be there because I know what's gonna happen. He knew all the things that were gonna happen. And especially too, like this is something else that happened recently this week, actually on Sunday. My great grandmother of 95 years had passed away. Somebody very close and dear to my heart. had passed, and that death has definitely like affected me and my family. I can't imagine right now being at school and having heard that. I can't imagine right now being across the country and having heard that. So there are so many things that are happening right now in my life that needed me to be here. So I just look back on the situation and I see that destiny, like, you did not need to be there and you didn't see it then. I was so set on the prize, and the prize was not for me. That was not my prize. God said, no, I am rejecting you from the situation because I'm protecting you and redirecting you in a different direction. And there's just a lot of things that I don't think I was ready for. And just looking back, I'm definitely just very grateful that I made that decision, because there's so many things in my life that have happened over the past couple of months that I know that I needed to be here for. I've changed so much based on these situations, and there's just so many things that are still working in me. So I know that it happened for a reason. Do I regret it? No. Because I always say this, that I know that that's not going to be the one and only time that I'll be able to go. If somewhere is meant for me to be there, I will be there. Like, that's it, plain and simple. Like, if I'm meant to be there, I'll be there someday, sometime. I didn't ever think I'd get the opportunity to go on a plane if I didn't go abroad. And look at me, I was in South Africa. Blessings, y'all. Like, I'm saying it. Can't explain it. Like, this is the best way that I can. But I don't want to record this video to discourage anyone from going abroad, because that experience is amazing. I just think that in going abroad, it's a process that you should be thinking about. Not just like, do I want to go? Do I want to go? Like, oh my gosh, I just want to leave. I don't want to be here. But just really analyzing all factors of that experience. You know, talking to people about their experiences, because there's some abroad experiences that are not broadcasted, y'all. People post things on Instagram to make their lives look great. And sometimes they're not the greatest. Sometimes they're going through a lot of things that they're not going to broadcast online. And that's just me being completely honest, you know, like, that's what social media does, you know. So I just think that if you are thinking about going abroad, or you want to go abroad, like, definitely still consider it. Like, talk to your off-campus study office, you know. Talk to people who've been abroad. Talk to people who haven't been abroad. Research your programs. Talk to people in those programs. Like, analyze the resources that you have. And I think that for me, I didn't do enough of that. And, you know, I was blessed enough to have just been redirected in a different way. But I still really wanted to go, and it's something I definitely still want to do in the future. But I just know that right now it wasn't my time. You know, and I can see that now, and I can trust that now. And I'm just so happy that I waited to record this video until this moment, because now I can actually see. You know what I mean? So yeah, that sort of explains the complex process of why I did not go abroad. Willing to answer any more questions that you guys may have on it, but that's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching this video. YouTube has helped me so much, and during this whole process, just connecting with you all. So thank you for your support. We're on the road to 1K. We're about to be at 900, so make sure y'all subscribe to my channel, please, if you've made it this far. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.